What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new week of Q&A. How's everybody doing today? Let's see. Let's go through the chats. Diego M says hi from Italy. What's up, Diego? How's it going? Eric Hernandez says neural DSP rules. I appreciate you saying that. That's very awesome of you to say. Diego M asks, do you know when updates for the Nolly archetype and Pliny are going to come out? Thank you. I know that one is going to come out in the next week or two, very, very soon. I don't know the exact date that it's dropping, and I don't want to promise anything for the guys, but as far as I know that the updates are ready, it's just a matter of scheduling it out. Diego M also asks, is there a new plugin in sight soon? Yes. That's what I can say. Yes. I think it's pretty much just like a broken clock is right twice a day. You know, I can always say that there's a new plugin in sight and never really be wrong. So yeah, Carl says probably sooner. Yes, it's very soon. Lear, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? Let's see. Ancient Mariner, how's it going, man? Quarog Tattoos, yo, what's up? My soul is a hippie. How's it going? Will Dunham says, "Hey everybody, my week has been very inspiring. Glad to hear that, man." Rocky Rucker says, "Been using Archetype Nolly and Dark Glass plugins for live applications, and the results are amazing and lightweight." Haha, yes, dude. So I got a show that I'm playing April 11th, and I'm just really excited to like walk in with a backpack and a guitar. Like that's it. Like I'm so stoked on that. Eric Hernandez says, good week so far. Cool, man. Awesome. Quark Tattoos says, I'm going for the quad Cortex instead of the delayed Fractal MF3. Hope you guys will not delay, ... I don't see us delaying at all, my dude. Yeah, the current tier shipping out November, so I'm not expecting a delay on that. I know that they're building in time to ensure that they can fulfill orders on time as scheduled. So yeah, I would expect it to be quite orderly, considering its neural DSP. Oh, awesome! Stefan says I ordered my quad Cortex, so a solid 11 out of 10 week. Great, man! Awesome! Congratulations! That's super dope. Modern Vintage, what's up, my dude? How's it going? My Soul is a Hippie says, I'm impressed at how lightweight these plugins are. I wonder how you guys are achieving this level of parallelism. Parallelism? Yeah, parallelism. That's definitely a question for the DSP guys. I think, like, I am constantly feeling like the dumbest guy in the room. When I talk to the guys in Neural DSP, which is a great feeling, by the way. Like if you're somebody who wants to be you know, an entrepreneur or anything like that, or you want to be like going into business for yourself or whatever, like get comfy with the idea. Get comfy with the idea of being the dumbest person in the room, because if you have people in the room that are smarter than you, that means you can learn from them. Oh, the Minecraft diamond, you're gonna just get, we're just gonna remove you. Let's see, put user in timeout. I don't know, whatever. We're gonna have to get him out of here. Yeah, James Yellow agrees. He says, if you're the smartest person in the room, you have to find another one. Agreed, 100%. Let's see if that works. Either that, or I'm gonna have to, you know, delete this guy from the chat. So anyway, let's keep moving on with the chats. Diego M says the week's well. Would be even better with a new plugin soon, my dude. Very, very soon. Matthias, what's up, dude? I like that. I like the track that you put up in the Facebook group a couple days ago. It sounded awesome. First name, last name. Hey, what's up, dude? I recognize your name. Dude, yeah, no, the week's been really good. Week's been really, really good. I have I have somebody handling some of my edits right now, so I get to really choose and pick and choose what I'm working on. So I'm actually kind of like working to expand some of the reach of the content for the Neural DSP page, because I like what we're doing right now, but I know I could do more. So like I'm really really excited to be kind of reaching out to like different artists and stuff like that to bring some cool content to you guys. So yeah, the week's been awesome. Okay, Ancient Mariner. So he says, I don't know if you've already talked about this in a video, but would love to see you talk about impulse responses and how messing around with the parameters, mic position, etc., shapes the tone. That is definitely something that I plan on doing. Because the more questions I get, the more I'm realizing I should probably have some sort of like overarching like guitar series or something along those lines. Like I should have something that starts from the ground up, where it addresses like, because I've done like, you know, a pick video and a string video and this, that, or the other, but I would really like to do something that's way more comprehensive and thorough. So yeah, so I really want to go into the impulse responses and how you can use those, because I was actually talking to my neighbor John about that this morning, where the impulse response is like 60% of your tone. Like it accounts for so much. I actually have a video going up this Friday that kind of demonstrates the importance of the impulse response, but it kind of goes over it like just briefly. So yeah. Oh, nice, nice. But yeah, so I have an episode going up, just kind of briefly illustrating and demoing like the importance of the impulse response and how that will change your tone, way more than other aspects will. So yeah, so I really want to start doing just like a very very comprehensive, overarching guitar tone series. Guitar and bass tone especially is, you know, because I definitely don't want to exclude the bass players from this. But if I do get a bass player in here, I want, or if I do bass videos, like I want to get a real bass player in here, because I can I can I can fuck around with the bass a little bit, but it's not my main instrument, so it's not my strong suit. So I want to get somebody in here to do that part specifically. So let's keep going. John McDaniel says, "Hey Steven, hope all is well. Glad to make another live stream. Glad to have you, dude. I'm glad you're here. Man, yeah, things are going really well for me. How has your week been, or since last time I saw you? James Yellow, what's up, dude? How's it going? Nathan says Omega archetype plugin. It's not an archetype, but you're close. Okay, Galaxy Bulldozer says, "Hey everybody, question to Neural DSP: are all plugins and preset sounds included in the Quad Cortex? If you own copies of the plugins, your plugins and presets will be ported over to your Quad Cortex later on. I know that the guys don't really want you to feel like you're missing out at all. So yeah, so you're gonna get like a copy of the plugins onto your Quad Cortex, so that way you don't have to like build up from scratch again. So yes." Yeah, yeah. The Modern Vintage says the Minecraft Diamond is getting blocked. Yeah, no, I'm on top of that. That was just obnoxious. But you know, it comes with the territory. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start getting some moderators in here for sure. Jorge says the Minecraft dummy. I agree. I agree. Let's see. Modern Vintage says, quick rant. Neural is already hailed as the best, the only ones to have done it right, etc. in the digital space, all based on a small niche metal, rock, prog, etc. No, so like, I mean, it was a very, very smart play on Neural DSP is niche down and provide value to a specific group of people and then build outwards from there. Because they saw a need, because there aren't really a whole lot of great high gain metal distortion amplifier sims out there. So like they saw a need, they fulfilled it, and they fulfilled it with good quality at an affordable price. to build up their reputation and their perceived value. So like it's a great it was a great plan and executed flawlessly. They did so with the intent and the idea of bringing the customers the best valued uh, property possible, basically, and it's really really cool to watch that all in action. Um, let's see. Lear says, Steven, how are you doing? Anything new? Finding new tricks with old gear or learning any new techniques? Oh, let's see. Let's see. No, things are going well for me. It's fascinating because there's this dichotomy between working on your business and working in your business. So like up until now I've been so packed, like my schedule, my like the content creation schedule has made it so that like I've had to work almost solely on working in my business, like recreating the content. So it's like scripting, scheduling, filming, recording, mixing, editing, and then upload. And then I have to turn around and do all of it right over again. But now that I have an editor on board that's helping me kind of take care of some of the workload, I'm looking at my time and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can actually work on getting my systems in place. Now I can work on, reaching out to artists and actually start like doing a lot more collaborations. Cause I actually have two videos, 3, 4, I don't know. Like I have like a handful of videos now that are in talks to working with other artists. So like Paul Oz, who did that pretty awesome solo on the Carol of the Bells track that I did a few months ago. So Paul Oz and I are going to be working on another video together. So I'm really excited about that because he's such a good dude and a great guitar player. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm reaching out to some people. I'm working with some dudes, and I'm really trying to just kind of up the quality and the diversity of the content that's going up on the YouTube page. So like that's what I'm doing, and it's a lot of fun. Like I really really enjoy this stuff. So, but thanks for asking, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, modern vintage, you bring up a good point. He says, Neural DSP, this means the majority of players, vintage, blues, etc., guys, aren't even aware of it yet. Think about how much revenue is about to flood in with QC and new plugins based on those. For sure, for sure. Like, this is just one move out of a long game plan. And I can't talk about it, obviously, because that's all that's NDA stuff, so like I can't say any of it at all. But like yeah, I mean like we have really big plans. Like Doug, I think it was Matthew Denis, he's a Matt the bass player, posted up that I really liked it. Is like Doug's not here to take part, he's here to take over. Like and I love saying that because I love seeing that because it's true. It's very very true. James Yellow says, I just listened to Nick Johnston's solo album. It's really good. Thanks, Steve, for the tone episode because I found an amazing artist. Same. Honestly, like I didn't know about him. Maybe I heard his name once or twice, but I really didn't know him before doing the Artist Tone series. I mean, because like honestly, like instrumental guitar players generally aren't my thing. I guess it's probably overgeneralization, and in looking back on it now, it's probably a bad mindset to have. But before that, I always viewed like solo guitar players as just kind of wankers, like, it's a completely wrong mindset to have, like I said. But like I viewed a lot of people as just doing like solo stuff, just as like egotistic masturbation. Like I'm like, yeah, I don't, and not to say that that's not out there, because it definitely is, because some people just don't know how to write melodies. But I listened to Nick's stuff and I was just like, oh my god, this is like really really catchy. It's really really interesting melodically, and the shred stuff that he does do on it is actually really well thought out and very tasteful. So yeah, no, I'm super stoked. I ran across him too. So like, and it also changed my perception on certain things too, which is always like those are some of my favorite lessons to have, is when people can change my perception on a preconceived idea. So yeah, anyway. Diego asks, will you still do tutorials on MIDI? If you're talking about MIDI drums, then yes. I'm actually currently working up a video on how I do MIDI drums. But if you're asking about MIDI commands, like using MIDI with the interfaces, or I'm sorry, not the interfaces, but the MIDI with the plugins, then yeah, I do intend on um, focusing in on that for like another episode or two, because I think that there's like, I kind of glancingly went over like general controls, but I kind of want to get into like especially how you can control like long chains of presets. So like, you have your um archetype Pliny overdrive into your Nolly third head to the like any one of those things where you're mixing and matching different parts of different plugins to create your own sound, right? And what I want to do is I want to be able to find out how you can integrate MIDI into one of those, so that way you don't have to spend extra money on additional software. Because I got hit up by a couple of people after it was the last FAQ where I answered the question where like, can you have one standalone going into another? And that, generally speaking, was like, okay, well, it's not very practical, was the answer. TLDR, was not practical. But some people hit me up afterwards saying like, oh, you could use this, that, or the other to do your stuff. And after some research, it's like, yeah, well, those programs cost $200. I don't feel comfortable like with I don't feel comfortable telling people it's like, oh well, you bought our plugins, now you have to buy another thing to do what you want to do. Like, I would rather create some videos that integrate the DAWs that people are currently using, so that way they don't have to spend the additional money. So that being said, yeah, I'm gonna do some more MIDI stuff on drums, bass, and guitar MIDI control for the plugins. So very long-winded answer, but yes. Oh, Jorge says that would be awesome. I think this is in reference to the overarching guitar tone series, where he says, I'm a technically strong player but can't dial in a good tone to save my life. LOL. Dude, honestly, like, I wasn't until I started working like on like the digital side anyway, because I kind of just was like a plug and play sort of dude. But I generally had that as like, it was more of just an excuse. Like, I just want to go up on stage, turn my stuff on, and then go. Like, and I created a good enough tone. But now that I'm doing this like full time, like, this is my job. So like, now I have to be good at what I'm doing. But yeah, no, I can empathize with that though. This is not okay. Galaxy Bulldozer says, "Did Neural DSP? Oh, is Neural DSP thinking about an audio to MIDI plugin?" I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I definitely know that that's out there right now. It was a Jam Origin or something like that has an audio to MIDI plugin. Um, but I'm not sure if Neural DSP is planning on doing anything like that. So. Lear says, "Get Nolly in to play bass, dude. I'd be down for that. If his schedule's free, which I doubt it is, but I'd be down for that." John McDaniel. Okay, this is actually a pretty good question. John McDaniel asks, "Are there things the plugins can do or will do that won't be possible in the Quad Cortex? In other words, if you've got the Quad Cortex, is there still a need for the plugins?" I mean, that's a good question. I think that there will always be a need for either or. Like, there are going to be times when I want to set up a session and just have a plugin running, um, maybe for like simplicity's sake. I think that you're going to have a lot of I think there's going to be enough crossover that like you could probably prioritize one over the other. But some people say like, okay, well, I just want to have the plugins. Like, I don't need the Quad Cortex, which is cool. And other people who are going to want to have the Quad Cortex, and then the plugins are going to be obsolete. I mean, I think that there's going to be things and features that one will have that the other might not. But I'm like, I don't know, like, the possibilities are pretty much endless either way you go. Like, I don't think that it's going to be 100% necessary, but like, yeah, I think that's going to be up to your individual workflow. as to what works best for your own system. Um, because I know for me, like the simplicity of the plugins is really what's super like um I don't know, like I like the simplicity of the plugins. I like that I can just pull it up. I know what they sound like. I know what they'll do on specific tracks and specific guitars. So like the yeah, I think the general answer is like it's gonna just depend on your workflow, um, and which one works best for you. So okay, Matthias, this is an interesting thing. I've been seeing this more and more recently, and Matthias says, "Thanks for listening to my track, dude. I appreciate it. I could have spent 365 weeks more on the mix, but it wouldn't have improved in any way, I guess. So I decided to get it out of there." Okay, that mindset, the and I've seen it a couple of times in the forums. Like I asked a question last week, asking, what's keeping you from releasing more music, and a lot of them were like they were a bunch of responses were like the one more mix syndrome, right? I think Tyler Britton might have even said that, those exact words, like the one more mix thing, where like the perfectionist attitude actually holds you back from releasing music. But like you got to get over that. You got to set yourself deadlines. You got to set yourself like real, like you got to just put your shit out. Like there's nothing that's holding you back except for yourself. And you're actually being more detrimental to your progress by doing that than if you are holding on to it and just one more time, one more time, one more time. Um, because the thing is, like, you actually will get far better at mixing the more different types of mixes that you do. Your ear is going to get far more attuned to the differences between like different kicks or snares, cymbals, rooms. So you're going to get more attuned to how the kick is supposed to, balance with the bass, etc., etc. Like you're going to get far better doing more projects than less and trying to perfect those less number of projects. I know that for me, honestly, there's something that I really am curious about doing. Is like a retrospective, because the first piece of music that I actually like recorded and mixed myself was with my old band, and that might have been around like 2011 or 12, 13. I don't remember. It was a long ass time ago. Um, but I actually am curious to do sort of a retrospective and compare and contrast, the first mix I've done to the most recent one I've done, um, and kind of show that like the past releases, while not perfect, were a good marker of my progress as I learned. So being able to look at like the years of difference and how much like being able to release has improved my skills has changed. So that's something I've been kind of toying around with, like a really quick piece and maybe a reaction video or something along those lines. But it just depends on what the demand is. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, I'm just gonna skip down and then try and work my way back up. So yeah, Carl, you I know. True. Carl says true. I'm a mixholic. Yeah, no, that's I feel it, dude. Michael D says, "Don't ever mix anything, whether it be a song or a bowl of guacamole. This dude speaks the truth." Greg Summers says, "Very cool. You're all doing this push out and creating a lot of buzz and connecting with customers." Yeah, man. Like this is what it's all about. Like my job is essentially like to create a community. The community was already there, but like this is something that I've really been like wanting to do for a long time, is just to build like rapport between users. It's why we're doing these, competitions, like these group competitions, because I want you guys to be working with each other to make music. And I think that like given just the like I think it was like 300 or so submissions on the last Instagram challenge, like there is so much talent in this group, and I'm so stoked on it. Like it was really really encouraging to see these people, who may or may not even know each other, come together and create some of the most memorable riffs that I've seen in a bit. So it was very, very cool. Do. Giancarlo says, I'm still of the opinion that if the Nameless had the same EQ, delay, reverb, and EQ, delay, and reverb of the Pliny, this would be a killer and cover quite a lot of hard rock tones. So please push your colleagues. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I know that they're planning on something, some update, but I don't know exactly what it I don't know what it exactly includes. Galaxy Bulldozer asks, did Neural DSP employ a mathematician with a PhD for creating this algorithm? We have a bunch of PhDs on our roster. I can't say who, but you know, we got a bunch of PhDs and we got a lot of smart people working for us, which is really awesome. All right. Yeah, Modern Vintage says last week's show was so much fun. Looking forward to the next version of that again. So yeah, you're gonna expect another competition dropping. No, I could just say it next week. I can't, you know, I'm not going to talk about what it is because I want to surprise you guys. But it'll start up next week. So look forward to that. It's gonna be dope. I'm really looking forward to it, to seeing what you guys do. Let's see. So Jorge asks, and this is something that I get relatively often, says, can you talk about any archetype projects in the works, if any? I can't talk about those. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I can't talk about those. I'm actually contracted to not talk about those things because we want to drop these as a surprise for you guys. You know, I think that we set these up way in advance, and there's a lot of groundwork that goes into these. So we like having it as a surprise to just say like, hey guys, just boom, there's this thing. We've been working on it a long time. We hope you enjoy it. So yeah. So you know, that's kind of why I can't talk about it. One, because I'm under contract, and two, because it's way more fun to surprise you guys with these things. Just because we do work on them so hard. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and move back down to the end of the chat. Jorge says, yes, you can talk about them. Waves hand like a Jedi. Nah, you know, I can't, unfortunately. But I love the reference. Star Wars nerd right here. Eric Palkovich asks, hello again, Steven. Any ideas on when we'll get demonstrations on some of the other effects coming to the Cortex, such as harmonizer, chorus, etc.? Thanks much as always. I can expect that probably in the next couple of months. I know that everything is being ported over currently, and they're going to be working really hard on making sure that everything is stable. But I can assure you, you guys are going to hear some more stuff pretty soon. But I would imagine probably in the next couple of months, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, Carl Walters says, such a shame you couldn't keep any of those Hoppus guitars. They look truly stellar. You know, so like there's one still on the wall back over there. And I'm holding on to it only. It's not mine. I do, and only because like I don't expect anything for free, especially from these guys doing what they do, like the custom guitars. They work really hard, and their craftsmanship is stellar. So I'm hanging on to this one only, and I told them I would continue making videos as long as it's here. But this one is still for sale. So if you are interested in it, you know, hit them up. But eventually I'm going to buy one of their guitars from them because I think that they do such an amazing job. And they're really nice people too. Like I really enjoyed hanging out with them at the NAMM show. Really like just genuinely nice people. But yeah, so if you guys are into Hoppus guitars, like just check them out. They're the best. Derek asks, will the quad Cortex include a looper function? I know that's something that they are considering right now because, yeah, they've heard a lot about it. So I think that that's something that they want to try and include. but I think that it's still up in the air right now. Like I can't say yes or no at this point, but I know that they have been considering it. Um, Tyler Britton says I'd piss my pants if we got a neural DSP Friedman suite. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that at all. Friedman, I'm realizing like as I work on a lot of these get artist tones, like how much I would love to have a Friedman myself. So yeah, like I definitely get that. Oh, Ancient Mariner, that's a good question. Okay. Ancient Mariner says, I've recorded a bunch of shit recently on my SoundCloud. I'd love to know what you guys think. What's the best place to share some links? Put it up on Facebook in the Facebook group or share it on the Unity site as well. Facebook's probably going to get the most traction at this point, but share it everywhere. Some people are going to use some things more than others. If you guys tag me in your posts, then I will go check it. Some people have been sending their stuff to me on Facebook and Instagram, which I generally don't pay that much attention to. So if you tag me on the Facebook group, that's normally where I kind of hang out at on Facebook. So if you tag me in a post, I'll check it out there. I'll leave my comments in the thread. And not only that, but also like I want you guys to be able to have like, the sort of feedback from other Neural DSP users. So post it up in the Facebook group. You'll get at least everybody else checking it out. I'll check it out if you tag me. So yeah, go there, do that. I'm down to check it out. Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you got going on. Jeremy Fox says, I'm not the best guitar player, but y'all's plugins and recent Instagram challenge vids have inspired me to start trying to put out some content of my own. I'm motivated, y'all. Motivated. Fuck yes, you're motivated. I love seeing that. I fucking love seeing that, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited, man. Like I like this is the bread and butter. This is the stuff that keeps me energized is when you guys get inspired to create something awesome, and especially if you're using like our products in the process, like great. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. I love it. So, and not only that, but also like Jeremy. So you say that you're, not the best guitar player, but the plugins and the instrument, like you're inspired. I think right now taking advantage of that motivation and that inspiration and molding that into a disciplined routine of exercise of like exercises and routines and like getting your practice in daily and then disciplining yourself enough to like put out like consistent content will push you to be a much better guitar player. That it's the systems in which we place our lives in that really will end up actually helping us become better at what we want to become better at. So that's my rant for the day. But yeah, no, I'm stoked, dude. Tag me in the stuff if you put it up in the Facebook group. I want to check it out. All right, let's go ahead and switch back down to the bottom. Galaxy Bulldozer says, "Hey Steven, which IR package can you recommend or have the mic speaker combinations a high risk?" Okay, so basically boil down to which impulse response can I recommend that's going to be the best, and that's it is surprisingly case by case basis. There are some that I go to more often than not, but I would never exclude any. Like, okay, so for instance, one of the best exercises that I've done in the past is anytime I get any sort of like I'm working on a project, right, or working on a song, or working on a cover or anything like that, is I always go through. Like, I just cycle through the different impulse responses just so I know what the characteristics are going to sound like. Because what an impulse response is, and I covered this in the video on Friday, is that it's basically just an EQ curve. And what the EQ curve does is it not only shapes your sound, but also determines how it's going to fit in the mix. So, like, characteristically, the dynamic 421. I usually don't go with the 421 because there's sort of a whistle and a sizzle in that mic that's like inherent to that build. I've heard it like time and time again. There's a whistle in it that I'm not super stoked on very much. But occasionally in the right metal mix, that peak will help a metal guitar like poke out of the mix. Right. So like it's going to be very, very dependent on your project. So what I would suggest, instead of thinking about it, what's the best impulse response or combination, is like, what are these impulse responses going to sound like in the mix? What it like the 121 is usually going to sound more warm, low end, heavy. The 57 and the 421 are generally going to sound brighter. The 160 is a pretty flat, kind of more, I guess, like forward mid heavy kind of impulse. So understanding the impulse responses is going to get you farther than saying this is what this person's recommended. So like, it's that adage where you're like, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach him how to fish, he eats the rest of his life. And I'd say that the best way for you to understand it is just to go through and really get familiar with the impulse responses that you have already. I wouldn't worry about, like, I would start with just the inbuilt impulse responses. Don't worry about the hundreds or thousands of different impulse responses that are out on the market. If you get really knowledgeable and comfortable with the ones like in the box first, then you can look at, okay, well, I like the Marshall sound, or like the vintage 30s, or I like the greenbacks, and then you can start making decisions that are more educated when you look at external impulse responses, like, or third-party impulse responses. Okay. Hopefully that whole rant helped with that. So, okay, Eric Hernandez asks the hard-hitting questions. So since you're a Star Wars nerd, what color lightsaber would you have? Now, it depends on if we're talking like extended universe, like video games and stuff like that, or just like the movies, because the movies have always had like just like the plain Jane color palette. So I'm getting so nerdy. Like they've had just, like, okay, they've had like purple, green, they've had blue and red. I mean, like, if I'm gonna go with like the OG colors, like red, definitely, because I have always loved the aesthetic of the Sith far more than the Jedi. Like red and green, or I'm sorry, green and blue is like, yeah, it's cool, but like red, it's dope. I fucking love it. But if we're going like extended universe, like video game stuff, like I always loved the one, it was like a white lightsaber with black lightning around it or something like that. It looked pretty dope. So, but yeah, no, it's a good question. Christian, did you post something? Oh, okay, so this is a question I addressed earlier. Christian then says, howdy folks, Steven, could you guys give a rough estimate when you'd be able to show some of the effects that'll be included in the neural? I'm the Cortex. I'm sure you're saying you're referencing, and that's going to be coming out in the next couple of months. To my earlier point, Eric Hernandez says, I might have accidentally screamed when you guys announced the archetype of Bossy, so the surprise is definitely worth it. I appreciate that. No, it's we like the suspense, we like the surprise, we like being able to just like unveil these like really like awesome products to you guys and seeing the reaction online. Lear, you get it. You fucking get it, dude. Okay, so Lear says the villains are always more appealing compared to the heroes with any story. Agreed, and that's been my thing since I was a little kid. Like, the aesthetics of villains have always been far cooler looking to me than the aesthetics of the good guys. Yeah, he follows up with the OG Terminator and the Predator. Yes. Oh, dude, OG Predators was like my shit. I love that. Okay. Yeah, so Christian, next couple of months. He also says he follows up. Let me see if I can find it. Where was that? Oh, yeah, he follows up his previous question with BTW. I'm on a strict canned ravioli diet since I put the Cortex pre-order, and I'm totally sure it'll be worth it. Agreed. It's gonna be awesome. I'm super stoked. Oh, yeah. Jorge says, who's more badass than Darth Maul? Man, okay, so I saw that. What did that come out in 99, I think? I was in like middle school, and I showed up to like the midnight showing like dressed as like a Jawa because I was like a really short little kid at that point. So like I was dressed up and ready to go. Like I saw that like 9 or 10 times in the theaters. Darth Maul was just awesome. Um, Jorge says Darth Steven. Uh, yeah. Dude, Matthias says he just watched OG Predator yesterday. Man, I fucking love that movie. Just like the like raw machismo and just like cheesy like 90s action like it's just so good. Like, yeah. Yes. Yeah, Crazy Dirtwood says, let's not forget about the crazy alien monsters. Yeah, the xenomorphs. Dude, I mean, come on. Like, I'll show you guys this. Do like this has been my background for like several months now. Like uh I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get back to the chat window. Dylan, you son of a bitch. Yeah. That's like my favorite scene in the entire movie. Michael D says 90s action movies were and will always be better than today's action movies. It's definitely different. It's definitely different, and I think that they are good to us because not only because they are good, but like, you know, the nostalgia is there, right? That's what we grew up on. There's some movies that I love still that are like categorically bad films. Like if you guys ever go back and watch the first Batman film with Michael Keaton, that's not a good movie. It's super cheesy. I love it still. I'm not saying that it's like I'm not saying it's bad, but like categorically as far as a film is concerned, it's not that great. But I still love it because of the nostalgia. Nostalgia glasses make everything better. Um, Leah says, my fave was the goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus line at the beginning. Yeah, dude. You got Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger, both bodybuilders and both like gonna be like governors of states, Minnesota and California, respectively. Like it's so good. It's so good. Like that movie was just a magical like lightning in a bottle kind of moments between like the writing and the directing and the action and the characters and the act. Like it all just works so much in its favor, which is why I feel like some of the following films just kind of fell flat on their ass because they don't have all of those elements in place. Yeah. Lear says the soundtrack was amazing. I totally agree. So, okay, we've gone off into the weeds. Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring it back to any questions you guys have. Unless this is something you guys really want to talk about, which I'm down to, but you know, I'm down for whatever, but I'm always like I always try to be conscious of what we're talking about and for how long. So, yeah. Oh, it's yeah. Tangent back to guitar stuff. Lear says. Christian asks, sorry to interrupt your nerdings, but would my Cortex pre-order allow me to receive the 20% discount on a plug-in order? I don't know. I haven't seen that in the Facebook group at all. If you want to contact support at neuraldsp.com and ask there, um, they might be able to just work with you on that. I don't know. I in my head that should be a thing, but I can't say whether it is or it isn't. Um, Oh, interesting. So Kendall James says back to guitar stuff. What would an archetype Mayer, John Mayer, look like in your opinion? I don't know actually. I feel like John has a similar style to the Nick Johnston kind of tone. Like as far as I like, because I've done a little bit of research on his rig. Like he does like a bunch of different effects at the forefront. Um, like he has like a pedal board that he's working with, but I imagine it's probably going to be one, two, two different heads. I imagine because I think that he uses a Dumble and a Fender. I would have to look it up. I'm not sure, but I think that would probably be, generally speaking, what it is. Something with like kind of like he would want something that's kind of like forward mid range, kind of that edge of breakup sort of sound, and then something very clean, with a handful of effects that he could put on at the forefront. Courtney Campbell, who is my girlfriend, says John Mayer artist tone in the works, maybe. I'm assuming that's my girlfriend because her name is Courtney Campbell. Hi, if that is you. But yeah, so John Mayer is in the works. Generally, if I mention that I'm going to be researching something, like it's because I'm working on a video for it. So yeah, so I do want to do. Yeah, Eric Hernandez says, yeah, he's got a Dumble for sure. Yeah. I remember seeing that when I was researching it. But yeah, that's one that I'm definitely going to be working up an artist tones video on because I think that would be a fun one to do. And it was actually really, oh, Kendall James, what's up, dude? How's it going? I didn't see you sneak into the, oh, that was you that asked. Sorry, man. Um, yeah, I see your stuff in the Facebook group. It's fun. I like it. Well done. Um, oh, that's so sweet. Michael D says, "Hey, Courtney Campbell, just thought I'd let you know you got a stellar man in your life." I appreciate that, Michael. I really do. Um, oh, where was I? Where was I? Okay. Before I got just sidetracked. Yeah. So, long story short, John Mayer artist tones video. Yes, that will happen. I'm definitely working up a handful of videos very soon. I don't like. It was kind of illuminating seeing what you guys wanted in the artist tones poll that I put up in the Facebook group like a week or two ago. So like Opeth is definitely one that I'm working on. John Mayer is one I'm working on. There's Thrice. There's although I'm really stoked on the Thrice one because I'm actually going to bring in a drummer to work on that one with me. So I'm really excited. Like I said earlier, like I'm going to start branching out with a bunch of other artists and stuff like that and bring in some new faces to the channel. So let's put the glasses back on. I always take them off, and then I'm like, oh, I remember I can't see without them. Let's see. Mark Cooper says, hello, all from Cali. What's up, Mark? How's it going? He has a question. It says, has Neural mentioned anything about how they are going to sell the Cortex? Direct, select dealers, distribution for different countries? I don't know if I can speak on that currently, actually. I think they're you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to speak out of turn, so I'm going to just leave that for later on. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't remember if I can talk about that exactly yet or not. So we'll see. Chase asks, will the patch changes on the Cortex possibly be quicker than other modelers? You know, I don't know the technicalities on that yet. I know there's going to be some gap, but I think that it's going to be relatively quick. I don't know. I don't know yet. Sorry, man. I'm gonna keep that question and address it when I have the actual answer for it. Michael D says, okay, gotta hit home, everyone. See you next week. Have a good one, Michael. Always good to see you, brother. All right. So why don't we go ahead and let's just go ahead and start wrapping things up. Get your questions in, and I'll address a handful of questions and then call it a day. Carl says maybe Dino Cazares tone of Fear Factory. I would love to. Dino stopped by the NAMM booth, and he showed off one of his like newest guitar. It's got like laser etched Mayan calendar or something like that on it. It looks dope. It looks so cool. I really like it. Oh yeah, Mark Cooper says BTW. I think John Mayer has been a big 2-Rock amp guy. Yes, he is. I do remember that. It's amazing how much information I have like stored on my computer, so I don't have to store it on my brain. If that makes any sense. Like when you say it's like, oh, he's used 2-Rock, and I'm like, oh yeah, he does use that. That's something I remember. Like, yeah, it's I got a lot to allocate. Crazy Dirtweed asks, how long after the Quad Cortex comes out will I be able to load Nolly onto it? I think that's going to be pretty close to each other. Like, I think it's going to be pretty quick. I don't see it taking too much time. Yeah, I don't see it taking too much time. Oh yeah, Matthias. I saw the I saw the note earlier. Russian Circles, artist tone, guitar, and bass. Yeah, no. I think that would actually be. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down real quick, because I'm the sort of person that I generally will forget things if I don't I don't write it down. And if my girlfriend is still in the chat, she can confirm these things. So Russian Circles. She can confirm that I definitely forget a lot of things. So that is now in my notes. That is in my list of videos that I want to do. Oh, Marshall, what's up, dude? He says, hello from beautiful, snowing NE, Oregon. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you got to hang out. We're gonna chill for the next couple of minutes, and then I'll start wrapping up for the day. So, all right. Courtney confirms Google Keep is our life. That and Google Calendars. We live and die by this technology stuff. Modern Vintage says was on a work call. Did you see what I wrote earlier about the IR loading? Ooh, let's look this up. Modern Vintage. Hang on a second. This is the cheat. The cheat I'm gonna do. I'm just like I'm Control F and searching your name so that way I can see you in the chat real quick. That way I don't have to start reading through everything. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I see this. Modern Vintage says the IR loaded scroller is the fastest and best way to try impulse responses across any device. A Waza TAE takes forever to load IRs. Neural is much faster. Workflow-wise, it's 5 minutes versus an hour plus. Yes, I definitely agree. Like having the ability, like especially if you've allocated your impulse responses, especially the third-party ones, well enough. Like if you load an impulse response into the plugin, you can then just click the right button and it'll cycle through the impulse responses in that same folder, so you can kind of really dial in exactly what you want. But like the cool thing is that if you put in a few minutes time to organizing your impulse responses in your folders, you could literally just go through and click, and then like find the ones that you like and really dial in the specific tone that you want, especially even with just third party impulse responses. So yeah. Yeah, no worries, man. So Modern Vintage says, thanks for the tip on the IR loading. Yeah. Like that's been super fast for me. Like I am all about optimizing my workflow. Like if I can't optimize my workflow, like everything is just cluttered and ridiculous. Like I'm currently going through my Dropbox and like moving everything around to accommodate this new workflow I'm trying to adopt. And it's like I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't start earlier. Okay, so let's go ahead and search your name again, real quick. Oh, yeah. So Modern Vintage also said, another thought, Neural reduces amp returns. If you don't like the Neural plugin, you likely won't like the amp. Great for smaller companies like Omega, where returns can really hurt growth. I agree. Same thing with Fortin. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a really good point, because if you can spend like $200 or $100 or $150 on an amp sim and it sounds super close, and if it sounds super close to the real deal, like, you'll actually have a much better understanding of how the amp works. Although, funny enough, like, I'm really curious, actually, like Modern Vintage, I'm actually curious to know what your thoughts are going to be when this Friday's video comes out, because I go into, like, the basic premise of the video is the importance of impulse responses. And I think, yeah, so we have like just like the regulars right now. The importance of the impulse response and how much it actually changes the sound. So I set up an example, and I'm curious to get your feedback on this, because the first example is 4 different amplifiers through a single impulse response. And then I have a second set of examples, which is 1 amplifier through 4 different impulse responses. And it's pretty apparent, like, that the tone that you get from a single impulse response can make a lot of amplifiers sound very, very similar. Whereas, like, the different impulse responses are going to give you a much wider palette. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on it. Like, I kept things pretty simple, straightforward. But I feel like, yeah, the more I mess around with it, the more I'm like, yeah, the impulse response is like the lifeblood of your tone. I mean, not to discount, like, I mean, like, I think that it's that followed very closely by the hands that are playing, and then, like, the pickups, and then the amplifier. Like, the amplifier has like a saturation characteristics, but those are a byproduct of like the hand that's pressing the strings too. So yeah. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that one. Yeah. So Lear says, I think Rabea Masad put up a video a while ago comparing the Dark Glass pedal and the plugin, and they're pretty much identical. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Marcus Keith Merrow has a lot of pretty good tones, no doubt. Agreed. Because James Yellow says, would you do a Conquering Dystopia tone video? It would be so amazing. My favorite album right now. Yes, I'm definitely down to do that. I kind of want to, again, branch out to some other people who would be a little bit better at representing the playing portion of that. Because I find, I'll be honest with you guys, like, I'm a decent guitar player. I feel like I've gotten to a point of competency with like playing and tone and stuff like that. But there are some like shredders out there, like Jeff Loomis. Like, I would be hard pressed to do a Jeff Loomis solo. It would take me a long time. It would take me a very, very long time to learn it and then to record it competently. So that's where I want to bring in some other people. Like, I have artists there are artists on the Neural DSP roster that I would definitely look into. Kendall James says, "Oh, please, dude, stop being modest." It's just the truth, man. Like, there are people out there that are far better than I am, that could definitely handle it better, and I would rather have them. I would rather showcase their talents than try and hack my way through with my own. So I appreciate that, though. I really do. Yeah, Lear says, "Geez, an archetype Loomis ... No, that'd be pretty dope. I don't know if that's in the works at all, but it'd be pretty cool. I would agree." That's a fair point. That is and honestly, like, I really do appreciate that you say that. So James Yellow says, it's primarily about the tone, Steven, not the playing, and you're really good, my friend. So I appreciate that. I really do, because there's definitely some people who have criticized or critiqued my playing, and it's kind of like, well, it's not exactly about my playing, is it? It's about how to utilize the plugins to get the sound of the artist, right? So I appreciate that you see the underlying concept there. I really do. Like, I think that would be really cool. I think that's really cool that you would say that. So I really do appreciate you saying that. No, I appreciate that. Modern Vintage says, I have a Meshuggah amp and the Nameless recorded through monitors. Even the amp feel is near identical. Neural's amp feel is better than anyone's sound and or feel. No, I appreciate that, man. Matthias, you know what? I'm gonna end this here. Matthias says, great and fun sesh, man. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna start that over. Matthias says, great and fun sesh, man. Thanks and have a great week. And get to the chopper. Yeah, agreed. Oh gosh, yeah. Modern Vintage says, add Wes Hawk, Misha, and Keith Merrill, and it's over to the Archetype series. Yeah, no, that would be the deal. So why don't we just go ahead and call it a day from there? And I want to thank you guys for always coming in and having such great conversation with me and hanging out with me. So I will I'll see you all in the next video. So you all have a great week, and I'll see you. And I definitely want to get you guys' feedback on Friday's episode. So yeah, you have an amazing day too, James. We'll see you next week. All right, later on.